The Effects of Culture on Women by Charisse, Bertha, Janet, and Melinda. In the 1880s, the Jewish population was recorded at 7,800,000 people. Presently, nearly 3,900 years later, the population is recorded at 14.4 million. 44% of them reside in Israel, 39.5% in the United States. In the 19th and early 20th centuries, Jewish women in America were confined to mostly domestic life. They had few interactions with non-Jews, and they maintained the rituals of their Jewish culture at the homes. And they were responsible for imparting moral and religious consciousness to their children. In the mid to late 20th century, their role in public life increased, and they began to run charities and do other events, but still primarily among the Jewish population. They became more involved in the synagogues, and with the women's rights movements of the 1960s and 70s, there was the Reform movement, and in 1972, the first woman rabbi was in America. With the conservative movement became equal treatment in marriage and equal access to rituals and leadership roles within the Jewish community.
Okay, hi, I'm Mindy, and my portion of the project is on Judaism in Israel and how that the culture of Judaism affects women. Israel's population is 75% Jewish, and the Orthodox Jews make up 20% of Israel's population. Judaism is an orthopractic religion, which means it's a lifestyle religion, and it only affects religious beliefs when you're at the synagogue, but also dictates many aspects of just everyday life. For example, after the wedding night, women shave their head traditionally, and then they keep their head covered from that point on. Women do not socialize with men other than their husband. They actually even have very limited interaction with their rabbi because he's a man, and they mainly just socialize with other women. They even have regulations about talking to even their own husband out in public. The mikveh is a ritual purification after menstruation. So after their period, women go usually to the basement of the synagogue and take like a traditional bath to cleanse, to show like a cleansing and a starting anew. Arranged marriages are the norm, so most marriages are arranged, and marriage is for life. In order to be divorced, men must actually, in Israel, there's a rabbinate council, which is where you request anything regarding birth, death, marriage, that all goes through them. And men actually have to request a divorce. Women are unable to request a divorce. So 1 in 6 homes have spousal abuse. So even if a woman feels she's in danger or she's getting beat by her husband, she's unable to request a divorce. He has to request that. And then some men believe, the more Orthodox men believe, the Torah gives the right for men to strike their wives. So they would even argue that what they're doing is okay. Some of the women's traditions, men tend to do more synagogue-related things, especially in the past. Women's requirements in the religion are to care for the sick, prepare food, organize births and bar mitzvahs. So women have a very strong social group. Studies show that women feel a lot of support from the other women in their culture, as compared to the men, because they don't feel as much of a connection with the rabbi or the men. They have more of a connection with the other women. The feminist movement in America is slowly reaching the Jews in Israel. Since 2002, there have been over 30 minyamin. And what that is a singing service where men and women are allowed to sing. Prior to the first one in Israel in 2002, women were never allowed to sing in public. It was considered rude or crude for a woman to sing in public, so that's making a big change. Women are starting to take legal action too. In 2013, the women won the right to pray at the Western Wall. They actually appealed to the court above the rabbis and were able to get that right.
Hello, I'm Janet Rodriguez, and I will be talking about Judaism and women's roles and lifestyles in other countries. Judaism is global. There are different ethnicities and cultures all around the world with different types of backgrounds. I will be focusing on Ethiopia and Argentina. Ethiopian Jews are known as Falasha and Beta Israel. Jews immigrated to Ethiopia around the 4th century. Ethiopian Jews have many struggles. They were not welcomed by Christianity. They were known as landless people, and they had their risks taken away from them. Risk meaning land, which is why they were named the landless people. Finally, they retained their independence in the 17th century. Ethiopian Jewish women's roles include their beautiful pottery making. They're known to marry at a very early age, and they are very family oriented. Argentine Jews have the biggest population in Latin America. There are more than 140 Jewish communities, making it the 6th largest Jewish community in the world. There are also 70 Jewish educational institutions. Argentine Jewish women's roles include similar roles from the Ethiopian Jewish women. They are also very family-oriented. They have few career options available, which include teachers and midwives. Other than that, they become homemakers and have their lives revolve around their families. Jewish communities continue to grow. Women's roles are evolving every single day. Judaism is changing and evolving as well. Thank you very much.